I'm Macy Eglund. Only in Newsday, new information about the recent graduates of Nassau County's armed special deputies. They include a retired NYPD officer who abused his authority. Also, Dr. Victor Politi of Belmore, who was fired for cause as president and chief executive of NUMC. At least 7 of the graduates are involved in firms dedicated to protecting religious institutions, including 2 who run 613 Guard in Lawrence.
We have been asking for their training, how they're vetted, personnel records, and have been met only with resistance. So finally, we get a copy of a pamphlet that's given out at the inaugural graduation that lists the names of 26 of the members.
Coming up, more details about those graduates and the legal battle over these armed civilian deputies. Only in Newsday, the threat of ICE raids is worrying local wineries and farms this spring. Owners are concerned that they could lose their seasoned workforce.
I don't know if we're going to have the workforce in the spring. In the past, we were able to find help pretty easily.
Later in the show, how the issue could impact the East End's economy. NTSB investigators are back at the scene of the deadly runway collision at LaGuardia Airport today.
Stop, truck 1. Stop. Stop, truck 1. Stop.
The impact of the Air Canada plane hitting a Port Authority fire truck killed the pilot and co-pilot Sunday night. Investigators are analyzing flight data recorders and the role of air traffic controllers. A possible new weapon in the war on Lyme disease. Pfizer and Valneva plan to seek federal approval for their new vaccine. The pharmaceutical companies say 4 doses reduced the number of tick-borne infections by more than 70%. Classic hip-hop is coming to Jones Beach.
Cash rules everything around me.
Hempstead's Method Man and Wu-Tang Clan will bring their final chamber tour to Wantagh in September. All right, let's talk about your forecast. Chilly this morning with feels like temperatures in the 20s. A bit of a shock to the system as you head out the door. Breezy today for your Tuesday, but sunny. Highs in the mid-40s or so at MacArthur. Tomorrow, partly sunny. Highs bump up a bit in the mid to upper 40s. Temperatures rise even more into Thursday. It looks dry right now for the Mets home opener, but we could see some rain late Thursday night into Friday morning before things clear up. Your weekend right now is looking pretty good in the 40s and a bump up to start next week.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
Only in Newsday, we've learned new details about Nassau's armed special deputies. The volunteers include retired NYPD officer Cesar Dorado of Glen Cove, who was disciplined for abuse of authority in a fatal shooting. Also, Dr. Victor Politi of Belmore, who was fired for cause as president and chief executive of NUMC. At least 7 of the graduates are involved in firms dedicated to protecting religious institutions, including 2 who run 613 Guard in Lawrence. This group may be called on to secure critical infrastructure, things like water towers and power plants. Ken Buffa and Newsday politics reporter Candice Ferretti take a look at how Newsday obtained this information and the legal battle over those deputies.
Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman is being criticized for his program to deputize armed civilians and use them as backup to police in case of an emergency. Some have labeled the force a militia.
The special deputy sheriffs report to the sheriff. The sheriff is in charge of the special deputy sheriffs that would only be called up in the case of an emergency. If a declaration of emergency were declared by me, then they would be called up. That would be a very unusual circumstance.
County Democrats are backing a lawsuit against Blakeman, claiming some of the people in the program have criminal records. Joining me now is politics reporter Candice Ferretti, who wrote the Newsday story on this. So Candice, how did you get some of the details for this story?
Well, Ken, since the program began, we have been asking for the identities of the applicants to this program. We have been asking for their training, how they're vetted, personnel records, and have been met only with resistance. So finally, we get a copy of a pamphlet that's given out at the inaugural graduation that lists the names of 26 of the members. I knocked on some doors. I made some phone calls. I did, I guess what you want to call leather shoe reporting. We looked up a lot of their names. We found them on social media, LinkedIn, all kinds of public records, campaign finance disclosures, business records, nonprofit tax forms, and we came together with this list of a mixed group of people who are part of this program, volunteers.
Now, let's talk about the criticism of the program.
Sure. So gun advocates, gun control advocates, police reform activists, citizens, residents of Nassau County, and Democratic lawmakers have criticized this program since the beginning, saying that Blakeman has overreached in his powers as county executive because he unilaterally gets to mobilize this group of volunteers who, as you know, are gun owners and would be armed when they are mobilized.
So what has the county executive said about this?
He says it's totally legitimate and it is within his powers, that there is a provision in county law that allows him to create a list of volunteers who are ready to step up. And they can be armed or unarmed. And he and the sheriff are able to unilaterally say when a emergency declaration happens, where they can go, where they can help with police, securing critical infrastructure, water towers, power plants, even monitoring protests. And the fear that some, and he has dispelled this, is that they would get involved in election security.
Politics reporter Candace Freddy, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for watching and stay up on this story. Thank you.
You can read more about who is in the inaugural Citizen Deputy class on our website, Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, East End vineyards and farms are on edge. ICE crackdowns are threatening labor stability during the busy spring season. Andrew Enger has that story.
The wine business on the East End is a key component of Long Island's agriculture industry. It takes a lot of labor year-round to sustain the farms, and the weather isn't the only challenge. Recent immigration enforcement actions by ICE agents on the East End, some farmers say, has sent shockwaves through the entire agriculture industry.
They were great assets to this business. They've been working for this winery for over 20 years, so they're definitely part of this team.
In February, ICE agents detained 2 longtime workers from Pindar Damianos' winery, men who immigrant advocates say didn't have a criminal record. ICE out! Community members demonstrated against the arrests, but now the worry is if ICE continues to target East End agricultural workers and they don't show up to work, it could have a detrimental effect on the entire East End economy.
I don't know if we're going to have the workforce in the spring. In the past, we were able to find help pretty easily.
And immigrant advocates say that concern is real, and they're hoping the agricultural industry and the community will stand up for workers now, before any negative economic impact is felt in the region.
If our people of industry cannot get in front of this, they are going to be run over by it, so it's not just the little people, the workers, it's going to be these entire industries that are going to be flattened out as a result of not speaking up now.
In Peconic, Andrew Enger, Newsday TV.
Read more about the impact ICE raids are having on communities across the island on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, a Long Island sailor is inspiring a generation of women to hit the high seas. Jamie Stewart continues our Women's History Month series.
This story is set in beautiful East Hampton. The location, right near the beach. The meeting point, I think, this van.
Hello.
Are you Cole?
I'm Cole.
I'm Jamie.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to the Silver Vixen.
What's it like living in a van?
It's really cool. It's amazing, actually.
Appearances can often be deceiving, and in the case of Cole Brower, it certainly is. Because Brower is one of the most impressive women in the world.
It was an amazing opportunity to be able to go around the planet. I think about it all the time. It was amazing, and I would do anything to be back there.
2 years ago, Brower finished second in the Global Solo Challenge. Along the way, she made history as the first female from the United States to race solo, non-stop around the world.
I find that challenge amazing and wonderful, but it doesn't come with it being easy.
Cole's journey was far from easy. She began in Spain, traveled down the west coast of Africa, over to Australia, and around Cape Horn before returning to Spain more than 4 months and 30,000 miles later.
I had been thrown across the boat and I cracked my ribs also in this race. So now I have, these guys kind of breathing down my neck, chasing me.
Cole was recently inducted into the East Hampton High School Sports Hall of Fame. She graduated back in 2012. But back when she was a Bonniker, Cole says she wasn't interested in sailing. She thought it was a bit too slow.
I was always into really fast, kind of more intense sports. I ran track, I played soccer.
Cole was a spitfire. She had a set of lungs, she made her presence known, and, she was just a light.
Cole is now writing her first book and plans on sailing competitively this spring, after, of course, she parks her home, the Silver Vixen.
I love the van. I can stay in marinas and work on boats and then come back to the van.
It is cozy in here, I'll give you that.
It's not bad. I mean, and then, how can you beat this view?
A nomadic life? Yes. An inspirational one to women? Absolutely.
We have the ability to overcome, and I think that we don't test that ability to overcome enough.
For Newsday TV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
Definitely inspiring. You could read more about Cole on our website, Newsday.com. Click Get More below that Newsday TV video box.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy. Need to maintain or repair an old solar system? Trust Sun Nation Service to fix it like new.
In Newsday Sports, a rising softball star and high school senior is getting ready to potentially play in the Olympics. Christopher Matias has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Glen Cove's Brooke Simmons is already a Division I commit and a county champion. Now the softball star has the opportunity to add another achievement to her resume by becoming an Olympian with the Puerto Rican national team.
I was really excited to know that I get to be able to represent my country in on such a large scale. It makes me feel really good.
Every softball player's dream is to make it somewhere, and it's hard for us. There's no real major league, so right now that the Olympics is back with softball, the fact that she has a chance to be there is the coolest thing ever. Everything that she does behind the scenes, no other player is doing what she's doing. After practice tonight, she'll go home and hit 2,000 balls, she'll pitch, but no one sees it. We know it's happening behind the scenes.
Softball has brought me to places that I never thought I would go. I've never been to Peru. I've been to DR once. It's brought me friends that I never thought I would have. I literally have friends all over the world now. At our Oklahoma tournament, we met girls from the Czech Republic, and I'm friends with them now, and we follow each other on Instagram, and we text all the time. Being able to meet new people and being able to represent my grandpa on such a huge stage is probably the reason why I said yes.
I'm Christopher Matias for Newsday TV.
Read more about Brooke and see Newsday's top 100 Long Island High School softball players on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other streaming services you see here. I'm Macy Eglund. We've got more local news coming up.
investigates how overlapping local and state jurisdictions can slow changes to make the roads safer. Roadblocks to Safety, a Newsday investigation. Now available at newsday.com/dangerousroads.